Hey, what's up? This is your girl Diamond. So, we are going to talk about the Netflix documentary called Blood Brothers. It is a documentary about Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X's relationship. It's kind of like a review and discuss some of the main points. And we go live every week at 7 p.m. Central Time. And yeah, how is everybody doing? Hey, Brandon, how are you? Hmm. It's not burgundy, it's dark brown. I have fun rocking. If you follow me on Instagram, not Instagram, well, Instagram too, and TikTok. My name on Instagram is Diamond Styles. My TikTok is Diamond Styles as well. DIAMONDSTYLZ as in zebra. I've been rocking this little lip with this little short hair, making videos and taking pictures and stuff. It's been, very, yes, Marissa, very 90s vibe. I live. Been feeling it. I have redecorated I decorated this for my live shows just to have pictures up. If you don't notice, can y'all hear me? Well, I have the mic all the way over there. Um, if y'all don't notice, this is intended to look like an altar with all like ancestors and it's intended to look like that. So over here I have in my living room I have made like a place where I'm going to do like my fashion stuff. So I've been working on that all week and I've been so excited and waiting for stuff to come and on Amazon spending money. And it all has most of it has come. I'm only waiting on some stands for my lights, and I just got some extra curtains because I want it to be a little bit more curtains folds in the curtain. So I got some extra panels and waiting on. There's some masks that I want. Just so many things that are coming, and it has been this week has been an exciting, creative, beautiful little thing that I'm trying to do just so I can, make fashion videos on my TikTok and, take some cute pictures and, a more my creative side. So it's been really good. Hey, Nathan. Very, yes, Fave Lip. Yes, I love the y'all stay sending Bezo to the moon. I know that is Amazon is a guilty pleasure. It's like Amazon is like Dave Chappelle. You want to cancel them, but they just you just can't cancel. They make things so convenient. Uh, they're like Walmart sometimes. They make things so convenient. You don't have to go anywhere, and the stuff that you want comes so fast. And then you return so fast. Like I bought something that was wrong, and all I needed to do was take the product to Whole Foods, which is like 2 blocks away. I don't like their shipping fees. Oh, I have Amazon Prime, so I don't. I order too much stuff to where Amazon Prime is worth the money you pay for Amazon Prime. I watch movies. Um, I watch movies. I use Amazon Prime too much. Kimberly Dash, girl, how you gonna pay me dust? What are you talking about? I used to have good coins selling stuff on Amazon. Yeah, it's like Um, it's like I just use Prime enough to where paying the Prime fee, yearly fee, is worth it to skip all of those the fees to ship stuff. Because I buy too much stuff on Amazon for me. It makes it worth it. Yeah. So I don't really just have to pay their fees like that at all. And then, you set up you a wish list. I asked you about Dr. Merlina. I didn't see you say anything about Dr. Merlina. Was there a message? Well, why are you asking me about Dr. Merlina on my live? But I don't see anything about Dr. Merlina. The first person who said something was Brandon. Did you say something before Brandon? And if you cursed or said anything weird in the message, then it probably just blocked it. So, mm, I don't really I don't have a big audience to where I can't see people message me. So if I don't say something to you, it's because I didn't see it or it didn't pop up on my end. But don't be checking me. I also don't have a big audience for a motherfucker to be checking me about. If I ignore you, bitch, I ignore you. Get off. I hate motherfuckers that try to check me because I'm not the one. I don't know nothing. I'm not Dr. Melena's motherfucking secretary. Dr. Melena is dead, by the way. Also, he passed away a few years ago. But yes, I don't have no beef with you. I don't even know who you are to ignore you intentionally. Anyway, hey Coco, how are you? We're gonna start in about 3 minutes. Off topic, but I'm gagging at Kelly Price missing. Ooh, I am too. We could talk about that later. That's weird. I said I love you, and I just saw the new girls. It still is a mess. What's his digits? Yeah, Dr. Molina has passed away a couple of years ago, maybe like a year or so ago. Yeah, he's gone. Now Dr. Ramirez is still here, but I don't have his number. I never which is Dr. Ramirez is Dr. Molina's apprentice, like the person he taught how to do it. Who Dr. Molina taught the new person, and he still is around, but I only got done by him one time with Dr. Molina at the same time. That was my first time going, and I only been to Molina, so I haven't been to Dr. Ramirez ever. He was just his apprentice at the time. Hey, Lena, how are you? Yes, we are talking about silicone. The famous silicone doctor, Dr. Molina in Tijuana. What did I miss? What did these doctors do? This is a side conversation that Kimberly brought up and that has nothing to do with this video. And I guess she thought I was ignoring her because her message didn't pop up on my end of the screen. So yeah, I didn't see the message at all. The first message is Brandon saying, "Hey, chat, come through Burgundy." So if you said it before him, I didn't get that message. But yes, that has, yeah. Yes, she is missing. Kelly Price is missing, but we can talk about that later. How is everybody doing? How is people feeling? I just said the new generation is still isn't trustable. Love and light. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't. I feel like technology has advanced. Girls shouldn't be getting silicone right now. It's you can go get your BBLs, honey. Now, they have, done they have a better result. So don't even worry about silicone. Gain some weight and um go get your BBLs, child. Mia just got hers. But I'm never gonna talk shit about silicone because I enjoyed mine. I'm never gonna uh, you know, be like, oh, silicone was horrible. I can't believe. No, my body, I live for my body. I live for my work. I live for the softness. I don't have discoloration. I don't have any of the the negative stuff people may have experienced. I just didn't have any of that. I'm pretty I feel good. I feel good about mine. Yeah, and I've had mine since I was in my early 20s. The first time I got pumped was 19. Yeah, 19. You've been hiding Mia and Z, but these interviews are love. Well, I said in a upcoming one, Mia actually got surgery. While we talk about surgery, Mia actually got surgery, and Z is taking care of her, and they have been out of commission because she is recovering. Her surgery went well, so she's just in the process of healing, and so they can't record. You know what I'm saying? Um, they can't record because they're busy taking care of Mia. Z can, but he's actually going through something with his people. So they've been overwhelmed, so I can handle it. That's why I've been giving y'all nothing but interviews and people. But they will be back. That's something that she has been saving for. And the blessing is half of the money came from her profits from March's plate. So that's a blessing. Yep. So that's been she's been really happy. So yes, what time? Okay. Yeah, so that's why it is. So but thanks for asking about me and Z. Those are my little babies. They are doing really well and yeah, still in love. Their anniversary, just like our anniversary, is coming up next week. Um, their anniversary aligns with our Marsha's Plate anniversary because when we started the podcast, they started their relationship. So early October is our 4-year anniversary. I'm so excited about that. Um, so proud to have something seed in your brain and you bring it out and it turns into a thing that's a business and that people like. It's kind of fire. It's kind of, I don't know. I'm proud of it. Oh, another thing. I wrote an article for um the Advocate about Texas and their foolery. Um, check it out. I put it on all my social media. Check it out. The love and faith is evident. Yeah, they're doing their thing. I love it. So all right, so let's get into this conversation. So um how many of y'all watched it? How many of y'all watched Blood Brothers on Netflix to prepare for the conversation? If not, I'll explain it. Well, I'll explain it anyway. But this documentary is about the relationship between Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali. And what I love about it, it gives you more detail. Like I have heard it out in general, but this particular gives you the relationship, the in relation to the Nation of Islam, in relation to the political bullshit that was going on within the day. Um, so yes. So that's what was it's just about the relationship between Ali and Malcolm X. Be right before he when they met and before he died and afterwards. And a lot of the family is in there. Ali's closest brother was there. Malcolm X daughter. And yes, Malcolm X daughter is gorgeous. She is a professor. I have watched her talk about other stuff that didn't have anything to do with her father, but she gives like lectures. And if you know anything about me, one of my favorite pastime, hey Asia, one of my favorite pastimes is to watch um college level lectures on YouTube. Like it's just something about it will that's within my interest. It's something I love to do, especially like when I'm cleaning up, I'll put it on and just listen to the lecture. And one of the things that she does is give lectures, and yeah, she is absolutely gorgeous. She's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Um, yes. So let's talk about. Let me see. So what I loved about it, one of the first things that I loved is how they laid out the connection of Malcolm X's history with white people, history in his past, history with his father, and how it got to where how he rose to fame to in our political consciousness of the United States and rose to fame in Nation of Islam itself. So what and there's a lot of things that it taught me. What I didn't know that his father was also an activist as well. I didn't know that his father was an activist and that he was lynched when he was like 6 years old. And so that was super, super wild to me because I didn't know about his father. And so what it tells you is about how his father was a great speaker and he was a follower of Marcus Garvey. And his father also, that Elijah Muhammad, who is, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who was over at the time, Nation of Islam, he was also a follower of Marcus Garvey. And so they both had taken the teachings of Garvey and turned it into something and was on the verge of, just being leaders in their community with this kind of teaching. And one of the key principles of Garvey's ideology is that Black people need to um, build economic power within themselves, be independent and, build economic power. Um, that's self-sustainable within our own community or whatever. Kind of separation, like, our own power, our own political and economic power. And so Malcolm X's father and Elijah Muhammad, they just went different directions with it. So Elijah added the militant religious aspect when it comes to being a Muslim to that kind of Marcus Garvey ideology. And he created a culture, a Black American Muslim culture that he was a leader, deifying himself, making himself seem like I am the messenger on earth. Um, I'm pretty sure I saw something about him killing girls with Seal recently. Oh, I don't know. Um, So he deified himself. Like he made himself be like Jesus. Like I am the messenger of God that has come, that God has sent me here to be. My purpose is to be the voice of God, to be, his right hand man just on earth, like Jesus. You feel what I'm saying? And so add that military in the moment, add that. He also had like different rules. You can't be smoking, you can't eat pork, you can't, that's a Muslim thing, but all these things that were about your health. You can't drink, you can't smoke, things that made you a better person in society, taking care of your body, being careful with what you eat, taking care of your family. It was these rules that put them that in that moment in time in our culture, a lot of people needed that. A lot of people needed that kind of structure. And so people without fathers, people without people without a political home, people without, particularly black people, not people. I need to say black people because that's what I'm talking about. Black people without fathers, black people without or like people who are orphans, without mothers, without a family unit, who need that sort of family, who need that sort of discipline, who needs that sort of structure, a political home. They found that in the Nation of Islam during this time. And they still can find that nowadays. Just like anything. I feel like one of the things that really these type of stories point out to me is that we all are looking for a home, either a political home or a family, chosen family. LGBT people know that we can that's what we do when we can't find a home and that love and that journey with our people, like our blood people, then we find it elsewhere. And so I think that Nation of Islam for a lot of people during that era became that kind of chosen family, because part of the pillar of its organization is taking care uh, uh, while it's super patriarchal, but it is taking care of your body, taking care of it's a certain level of care for your community, care for yourself, and care for your family and your wives and your children. That is pillars of integrity and morals in this particular religious structure, and black love, black pride, all the things that were super needed in the culture, in the when we were coming out of you know the so racist area of so, but yeah, Elijah Muhammad kind of deified himself. And so when um the white people when the white people killed Malcolm X's father when he was younger, literally beat him and laid him in front of a a train and let it run over him. Like really crazy ass fucking white people sociopathic shit. When they did that, it just put him on a journey to immediately and easily fall into the hands of being a criminal, being a pimp. Excuse me, being a pimp. Um, you know, whatever the things that he got into to hustle, because he didn't have the support and didn't have money or anything, any kind of safety net as a young black boy to do anything else. So he got into hustling. You feel what I'm saying? So going to jail, getting locked up, not being shit, being a two-bit motherfucking hustler. Excuse me. I need some water. Being a two-bit hustler, it gets old, especially when you getting older. Do you feel what I'm saying? When you getting older and you seeing all these systems, when you get around 30, it's like, yo, something's gotta give. That shit gets old. At first, I'm just kind of surviving, but then when I get a little maturity about myself, I'm gonna gravitate to a political home. And so it is only it makes total sense for Malcolm X to gravitate towards somebody who follows the teachings of his father, Elijah Muhammad. It makes total sense for him to come up in the ranks, having the skill set that his father taught him when he was younger, to be able to speak, to be able to articulate ideas, to be able to articulate ideas and, move people. It's so obvious that he would come up in the ranks of Nation of Islam under Elijah Muhammad and become his right hand man and become the mosque leader of the mosque in New York, the Nation of Islam of New York. I don't know what's going on with my chest. So I thought that was quite interesting. It seemed, because I didn't know that part about his father. Let me see. And so then they talked about Ali and what they described Ali's claim to like how his rise to fame from, was it Louisville? Yeah, Louisville. From Louisville, and how he rose to fame by being this cocky, because he went to the Olympics, being this cocky, confident, and I don't like to say cocky because cocky got a negative connotation, but very, very confident. Like, he was taught to have the confidence, to have that he didn't need to feel inferior to nobody. This is how he was raised. And so when he goes to the Olympics and win, and when he's traveling around the world, everybody is praising him. Oh my God, oh my God, oh God, you are Olympian, gold medalist. And they're praising him. He ain't got to go to different fucking weird ass bathrooms. He just goes to the normal bathroom. Jim Crow isn't everywhere in the world. Everybody is loving him all around the world that he travels to. And then he comes back to America and they're treating him like a fucking second class citizen again. After he has won a gold medal for them, after he has become an Olympic champion for them, representing them, and then I come back and you treat me like shit. So he knew something was wrong within. Something was wrong then. But then he goes into like they were talking about when he was younger. He went into this church, and the white church, and they were singing the same hymnals. Definitely not singing it the same way, but singing the same hymnals that they were singing in the black church. And then when he comes in and he tries to sit down, they try to say, no, you don't get to go to this church. You black. You got a boy, get your ass up out of this church. And he was like, he knew in that young age that this is wrong. This is stupid. If we're praising the same Jesus, there's no way that I'm coming in here and we all singing the same thing and I can't come in here and praise Jesus with you. It doesn't make sense that I can't, that if we all are human and the children of God, that we can't be praising God together. Separating is stupid. It sounds stupid. And what I thought about, y'all still with me? Because I saw something say the connection was messing up. Thumbs up. Thumbs up if you're still here. What I thought about was how men, particularly around this time, how easy it is for that little boy that was in Ali at the time to be able to see racially that this is lunacy. This is stupid. This is dumb. This is retarded. This doesn't make sense. This racial shit is ridiculous. And I remember Toni Morrison. Unbreak my heart. Say you love me again. Toni Morrison says she remember being young, and when they used to not let her use the bathroom or use the water fountain or do something stupid, she says, I knew at a very young age that this is fucking stupid. This is stupid, dumb, doesn't make sense, and that I have the moral high ground. Like, you hating me because of my skin color makes you a bad person. She said when she was young, she knew that immediately. She knew that if you are a racist, if you are judging someone by the color of their skin, you are bereft of moral fiber in your body. You are not who you think you are. You are not the high ground. And she said, I remember distinctly her saying she knew it early on in her relationship. But what's interesting to me is that somebody like Ali, or men like Ali, or young people can get that idea when it comes to race, but cannot grasp those same concepts when it comes to gender and how women and girls are treated in certain situations. That this is just stupid. This doesn't make sense. This is not fair. This is not just. This is not okay. Do you feel what I'm saying? I don't understand how people, and it's hard for me to believe it, that people don't understand when we talk about gender in the same way as race, because it's so easy situation that you're like, oh, this really doesn't make sense. But people are not willing, a lot of men are not willing to admit it, because you would have to sometimes in certain scenarios, not it would be uncomfortable for you, because you would have to, certain scenarios, you would have to relinquish power or do some things that you don't want to do. I was on a post earlier. I didn't make that connection, but that makes total sense. Yes, I was on a post yesterday, and this dude on his post, he was like, "There is no way that I should have to wash clothes, that I should have to cook my dinner, and I should have to um do the dishes, and I got a woman." Now, so he's setting the standard that if he has a woman, she got to do all this household shit, right? Cool. One thing that I don't do, I'm not gonna come in and tell you you can't have rules about your relationships of what you want in a relationship. You feel what I'm saying? Cool. So my comment was, I hope that motherfucker is paying all the bills. If I'm being a maid and I'm doing all this household shit, I hope all the financial shit he's taking care of, because that would be fair to me. Like, or comfortable for me. I want to say fair, but comfortable. I don't, if a nigga taking care of all the bills and all I got to do is cook, be pretty, sit in the house, make sure it's clean, lay back, sipping cocktails, da, 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 I don't mind that life. I don't mind that life at all. Give it to me, baby. Give it all to me. You taking care of all that. You got us a house. You got us some land. You got all the financial shit that I need. Cool. I actually don't. I'm traditional in that sense, where I don't mind that balance. That's not for everybody. So I can say, if that's what you want, find a woman that wants that with you. But I hope that whoever believes this shit that you're saying, they're paying all the bills. And he turns around and says to me, James Baldwin and Nikki Giovanni had the same argument, and even Nikki was saying some pro-patriarchal stuff at some point. So many layers to this. Absolutely. One of the beautiful things about that conversation, just side note, I'm glad you brought it up. One of the beautiful things about that conversation, moments, and me and I have a video with Janicia called Be Tender to Me. I don't know, I can't remember, but it's Janicia from Tea with Queen and Jay. We did a video together, and we were talking about that. Like, you have all these problems with the white man and out in the public and racism, da da da. When you come home, give me the best of you. Like, in that conversation, Nikki was like, "You don't come home and beat my ass and talk shit and take all your anger and frustration. If you got enough energy to fake for the white people to make money and whatever, however you got to fake with them, do the same. Give me that same energy when you get home. Fake with me too. Fake, put all that shit on the side and be loving, be tender, and you ain't even got to fake that. If you do love me, be be tender, be nice, be sweet. Don't give me the worst parts of you. Don't give me the shit. Don't, because I am in this with you together. I'm dealing with the gender stuff and the race stuff. And I thought that was even though she was saying some weird other weird shit, I thought that point that she was trying to make was beautiful. Home home should be your safe place. Like when you are creating your house, your decorations, your what you see when you wake up in your home that you create, the home that you create. When you wake up in the morning, do you have, I remember, and I still got a couple because I just really love those pictures because they make me happy. Um, when I first moved into my apartment, both of them, I would always have pictures of the Hollywood beauties like Audrey Hepburn, Marilyn Monroe, Katharine Hepburn, Ava Gardner, Jane Mansfield, like those old white Hollywood beauties. Do you feel what I'm saying? And subconsciously, I didn't really think about what that was doing when it comes to, I wake up and I have this fucking shrine of white women in black and white. And when I moved in this apartment, because I had painted the red accent wall, I thought it was beautiful to have black and white pictures up. I have black furniture, black and gold, and so it's black, red, and gold in here. And so I'm really making a shrine to these white women's beauty, not thinking about it because I'm just like, oh, this is just be the black and white, the starlets, and da 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 da. But this is a time when only black and white starlet that was out at the time was fucking Dorothy Dandridge, and I did have a picture of her, but it was mostly white women. So I was like, what does that say about my indoctrination when it comes to what I think about beauty? So what I started to do is be really, really, really intentional about what I put up, who I put up. So now I have tons of black women. I have queer people. I have trans people. And Grace Jones, dark skinned people, light skinned people. I have so many things that I have intentionally put out into my home to make sure that when I wake up in my home, I am seeing what I want to see the beauty standard to be in the world. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not just all of I remember when we were younger, we would put posters of the celebrities, word up magazines with all the fly people on your wall and blah, 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 blah. Michael, I'm old, so like a Michael Jackson, um, whatever in his little red jacket or with that panther. I remember I had it with a panther, with that Black Panther. Um, so yes, you have to really control the images where you can, because we can't control it out there. We can't control the advertising we see out there, but we can control it in here. So it's really, really important to control what you do when you go home, what you do with your people that you love that live in your house. How are you treating them tenderly? Are you coming? Are you going to work and faking being this nice person and then coming home being mean to your family after you faked being nice to these white people for a check? When you can be nice to your people at home. I just thought that conversation with Nikki was beautiful. But anyway, I think it's important to think about the women in this story, in this story. And I'm gonna always center black films, whether not necessarily female born films, but or women. Sometimes the films that I'm talking about is men films. But I'm always center black films. And so when I think about this documentary, I'm thinking about the women that we did not hear from. So when we think about they showed us who Malcolm X's father was. They didn't even mention, but one little bit of time, they had a picture of her and a little bit. They didn't mention his mother. What did his mother do? Didn't even care to mention it. What did his mother do when her husband got lynched? Her activist husband got lynched. How did she survive? What happened? What happened with the mother? We didn't even care about her story to tell it. All we wanted to tell was the fact that he lost his father and it led him down this road because he lost his father. His mother turned into a single mother. How did she survive? What happened? What was the tea with that? But we don't care enough to talk about that. Excuse me. And then even the concept of Malcolm X passing away. What we're talking to his daughter, but what happened to Betty Shabazz? We just recently had a movie about her life, like I think Mary J. Blige and Angela Bassett was in it. Not, it wasn't recent. It was, a while ago, but way after the situation happened. We didn't really learn who Betty Shabazz was. Who was Betty? Right? It would have been interesting for us to know about how that played out. Who was Betty Shabazz? Who was, like, I want to think about what was going on with her within all the bullshit that led to Malcolm's death. Oh gosh, think about this too. When you are a woman and you are playing into patriarchal rules, you are like, oh, I'm going to be the housewife. I'm going to be my man is taking care of everything and I follow his lead and blah, 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 blah. Malcolm got lost. He got lost because where he decided that his political home was, turned his back on him when he found out that Elijah Muhammad was fucking not perfect. You wasn't no fucking messenger from God. You was fucking little minor girls, getting them pregnant and then pushing them out, getting them pregnant and pushing them out because they got pregnant by your motherfucking ass out of the Nation of Islam, pushing them out and shaming them. Because you are not infallible. You are a fucking disgusting man who wanted power, and you use the politics of the day to raise yourself to power, created an army around you, literally, where people will protect you and hide your secrets. And when Malcolm, somebody of integrity, who has daughters who don't want them to fucking be molested by no motherfucking old ass fucking men, when he found out that you had impregnated all of these fucking little girls and pushed them out of the Nation of Islam, he thought that shit was fucking foul. He thought it was foul. He thought it was whack. And so, because he wasn't fucking with y'all no more, and he went to the Mecca and really just revamped his whole mindset, y'all turned against him and killed him. And then Ali, before I go to that, so Betty Shabazz, I want to focus on her. So, because the rules of patriarchy of this culture, the Nation of Islam culture, but I don't want you to just think about it in that sense of this religion. This happens in many scenarios in the world with women when they are trying to live up to the standards of what patriarchy says a woman should be. So, Betty, she's following these rules of what a woman should do, a Black Muslim Nation of Islam woman should do. Malcolm was lost. And because he was lost, he's having the freedom. He got to fly to Miami to see what Ali is doing. He got to fly to Mecca. He got to do all of this shit. He got to get locked up. He got to do all of this shit. He has the freedom because he's a man. He ain't got to stay home with babies and kids. Clock that. But whatever he gets wrong, it's going to affect you, mama. Because what's the saying? If you want to destroy something, cut it off at the head. If you cut that man off, this family is destroyed because she has no power. They have set it up to where she has no power. So when they kill him, when they kill Malcolm, and they shame him as a human being, where you gonna go? Back to the Nation of Islam? The motherfuckers that killed your husband? You gonna go back to community who you don't know if they fucking with you or not fucking with you? All the people who he said was his friends done turned their back on him. Turned their back on him. And so here you go stuck with babies. With no plan of action. Because you've been following what this lost ass nigga was doing. You can't get property. You can't get at the time you can't get credit cards. You can't get bank accounts without your husband. But they set you up to have that control and to have that power. They set you up. You're set up. That's why it's shifting nowadays. Women, black women particularly, has always had to contribute to the household, married or not. Wherever they are living at, they have always had to contribute because black men didn't make money like that. Black men would go and do work in labor in some type of labor force, and the women would fucking be maids. And then when it got a little bit better, they went and been secretaries. And then when World War II happened, when was that one? With the Rosie the Riveter, when the women had to go to work. Then they went back, then they went to other different kind of jobs. And then when the men came back from war, now they got to go back to the house. And they were like, nah, I don't fuck with this. And then the whole feminist movement starts. A new wave of the feminist movement. I was quite annoyed watching it, how we didn't get to see how we got to see how vulnerable women are in this particular situation. But it's a reflection of many situations in the world. That's how they got Malcolm X's mother too. They only partially gave her the insurance money, and she would only give her the monthly payment, no lump sum. Bullshit. Bullshit. Hey, D. Ashley. So let me see what other points that I wanted to make. So yeah, when he finds out that and it makes it, and this doesn't take away the vulnerability of the little boys. You know, the little boys of Malcolm X that's in Malcolm X to look up to Elijah Muhammad and say, "Ooh, this is a dude like my father. This is a dude who because of the circumstances of the world, it makes them vulnerable to these type of men, to look up to them. And then now imagine the power that could have grown out of, I say this all the time. Do y'all remember the show called The Vow? Men weren't all the way right, but the course of sympathy is only reserved for women. I don't believe that, because if you think about who got more money when it comes to PTSD from the military, when you think about who gets the loans for the VA loans, who benefited from the military in that sense, men were set up that because of the sympathies of men, they had access to therapists. They had access to many things. And then what I also learned through the book that we talked about earlier, there was a lot of sympathies that men had that women didn't have at all. Now you might can say that about me. Yes, I don't give men sympathy. In certain circumstances. But in the world, men always get the sympathy. They get the benefits of the sympathy. When we talk about the access to healthcare, when we talk about we talked about this the other day, even what's her name? Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Her whole case, her whole claim, how she got to where she is because of a man not getting the spousal support that he was supposed to get when his woman was in the military. It usually would go to women as a wife because she couldn't work. And when the man dies, it would go to women because that's the wife. But the man, well, no, not when he dies. Because she's supposed to be home taking care of things, the military would help his wife out, the sympathies of a man, help his wife out so his work money wouldn't have to go to the household stuff. But when it was a man that was the at-home person, they didn't want to give it to the man. Because they felt like he should be able to go work and da 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 da. And there was nobody that they could have sympathy toward to take care of home. But what the dude was, he was taking care of his mother. He was taking care of his mother, and they didn't consider that to be admirable enough. So there wasn't that patriarchal sympathy, the normal structure where you're the husband and this is the wife. It wasn't that sympathy. Do you see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Because you're sitting home being lazy, taking care of your mother. That's not the structure we like to sympathize with. And her whole case, that was her whole case. How we got these rights and how we got that sector of ACLU that took care of women's rights, that's because of that situation, because of the sympathy of a man. So I don't know where you get that. Here, you might can get it here from Diamond, but because I do reserve sympathy for women. But the world don't reserve sympathies for women. Y'all always got the power. Look at the Supreme Court for the last 200 years. And there's some nuances with white women's rights as well. There's some nuances. It's still not as equal to white men. It may be different from black women, absolutely. But it may be different, but it's definitely also different from white men. They hold two different powers. And if you don't think, if you're lumping white women and white men because of their race to hold equal power, then you have no gender analysis. There's a difference between power of a white man and power of a white woman. Excuse me. But yes, so so he was vulnerable, but also Malcolm, not Malcolm, Muhammad Ali was vulnerable too. He was a young, athletic, confident man that was being used like a racehorse by rich white men, but he was a proud black man, so he didn't want to fuck with them like that. So he needed a political home. He recognized the racism of the country because of where he had traveled to. And so Elijah Muhammad and them were talking that good shit in his ear. When Malcolm was on his roll, he would show up to every Malcolm speech. That's why they became friends. So he was also vulnerable as well. He was vulnerable because of the status of racism that put him in the mindset of being vulnerable to this type of, not saying that it was wrong in the moment. Oh, I keep losing my train of thought. Remember, I'm thinking about the power, how powerful the Nation of Islam could have been if it wasn't led by a fucking pervert that wanted to molest minors. Do you feel what I'm saying? And there's a show on HBO called The Vow. And it was, they were fucking branding, turning the girls into sex slaves and blah 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 blah. But the beauty of what they were doing, if it was led by somebody with integrity, would have been fucking beautiful. Like, imagine if Elijah Muhammad wasn't molesting those minor teenagers and didn't get them pregnant and was on the up, following his own rules, being faithful to his wives. Imagine what kind of political power we would have, Black community as a whole, if they would have, if Malcolm wouldn't be dead, unless the white people killed him, but he wouldn't be dead. It would have been a whole different, it would have been a whole different scenario. And like the vow, if that white man with the little glasses, if he wasn't turn it into a fucking sex slave porno master shit, if he was not doing that, look at the power. They were able to raise so much fucking money and benefit, making people's lives better and making them a better person. Look at some of the stuff that they were saying in their rhetoric early on. It was kind of beautiful shit. Holding men accountable, holding women accountable for what the part that they play in their own demise, and hold men accountable for the part that they play in people's demise and in their own demise. They were really doing the work, but it was to get them to follow and then turn them into something disgusting. Sex slaves and master and submissive. That was fucking whack. Imagine if the leaders of these Black Panther suit. Yes. Now let me say this. This is no excuse, but here's a little bit of sympathy, Ready Rock, for the men. The only leeway about the Panthers that I kind of I like to give them a little bit of grace. The Panthers was very young. The Panthers was fucking kids. Fred Hammond was like 20, 21. So they were kind of early 20s. Now they got fucked like honey. Eldridge Cleaver got whack. He had a whole book about starting off raping Black women. Like, this is a book. How the fuck you put this in a book? I'm glad you did, but he said he started off raping Black women to practice on them. So when he got to raping white women, he knew how to do it. The trophy of white men. Child. He put it in his book. That was in his book. So state that gender was when it comes to power. When it comes to power, imagine the state that they had to be in when it comes to the audacity of controlling women's body. Eldridge Cleaver, one of the Black Panthers, in his own book, imagine for that to be something that you put in the book openly. That had to be something that he thought was, it's okay. I doubt it. I think he ran to Africa to run from the laws. I think he's trash. A good Library of Congress, this is a side note. Library of Congress has a video of where they document some of the Black Panthers, and they interview Kathleen Cleaver. Y'all have seen her. Y'all probably have seen her every Black History Month. The video of her pops up. You know how they be sharing the same little clips. But do y'all remember this really, really light skinned Black woman with a big old afro, and she got like light color eyes, and she was talking about how the afro, I like my hair like this, and da 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 da, and she had her black turtleneck on, and she just got a big old afro. Her name is Kathleen Cleaver. She's the wife of Eldridge Cleaver while they were in the Black Panthers. And there was like a split in that COINTELPRO, which was the FBI. There was a split in the Panthers, East Coast and West Coast. That was happening, and she gives you more detail. It's a Library of Congress video with her name is Kathleen Cleaver, and she gives you tons of details about what was happening and how the split was happening, how COINTELPRO was sending letters of different things. That's why when Huey P. Newton wrote that letter saying we should come in line with yes, Mary. We should come in line with the LGBT. The letter he wrote was like, "Yo, these are our allies. We shouldn't be talking shit to our brothers in the gay liberation movement. They should be on our side." The COINTELPRO used that whole thing to kind of make a rift within the it was other things that was happening, rift that was in the community, and Kathleen's parents had to pay the rent for them. It was tons of stuff. She spilled all kinds of tea. um, but yes. If only, men of these cultures, of these groups, had some fucking integrity, had some they were fucking raping women and beating women in the Black Panthers. Like, if only they had some fucking integrity in these groups, how far we would go if they were taking care of community and not fucking thinking with their penises and thinking and doing fucked up ass shit. It's like, like it really just is fucking annoying. It's just fucking annoying because you can live now. Hindsight is always 2020. We can literally see mistakes that were made in the choices that these men were making that delegitimized and derailed us moving forward. And I thought this documentary is something that really, really highlights and point that out, because they have power. They deifying themselves, literally making themselves into messengers of God. It makes me say, how hard is it to not leave skeletons in your closet in your lifetime? Yeah. How hard is it not to fucking molest children? How hard is it not to rape women? How hard is it to keep your fucking hands to yourself and not beat women? How hard is it not to cheat? Look, Martin Luther King, he was the non-violent, but half of the issues that he was having with the FBI and his relationship with Coretta Scott King was them literally being able to record him because they was tapping the phones and recording the rooms, them literally recording him having sex with people and sending the recordings to Coretta Scott. That's how she was finding out that he was being a slut bucket on the road. Like, it literally was causing tension in their marriage because you couldn't keep your fucking penis to yourself. That's so wild and crazy to me. The amount of power influence they would have now if only they could have done right. Exactly. If they could have built the infrastructure in community. It's still going, but it's not, it's tainted. It's tainted on some bullshit. It really is tainted. And yeah, it's disappointing. And then the relationship with Muhammad and Malcolm, how because he was so vulnerable, because even them, think about it, they were talking about in the documentary, Malcolm was like, I didn't even know who Ali was. When he first met him, he was like, because the teachings of Muhammad was we don't fucking get involved in sports. We were in two total different circles. I didn't know who Muhammad Ali was. I couldn't see who he was. I didn't know who he was. And so in that situation, I definitely don't believe the fallacy of men not being able to refrain from cheating. If it gets that bad, rub one out and go on with your day. Facts. Um when lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, he said he didn't know who he was. And that's because they couldn't play in the sports. But when it was time, they couldn't like even get involved with sports and shit. That was a part of their culture. Like you can't eat pork and that kind of thing. You can't be into sports and all that bullshit. In that situation, he should have known it was bullshit because as soon as they needed to amplify their voices and turn against Malcolm X, they used Muhammad Ali's celebrity to make the statements, to be against Malcolm X. They used it. They used his celebrity. They used him being a sports person. But they were telling Malcolm not to fuck with it. It was wild that white men created a whole company to manage Ali. But that's not, it's wild to think about, like, wow, but it's not wild. They have been, it's what we see with the NFL nowadays. It was with boxing, it was with that's what it was. Just like using the body of a woman when it comes to pimping and saloons and having babies, having more slaves, that they were doing it with men like they do with dogs, like the cockfights with roosters and fucking dogs. You got to understand, this was to white people, we were their fucking cattle. So just like they have dogs that fight and do fighting, they did that with slaves. They did that with black men. And so coming out of the slavery situation, they're just going to transfer it to something else. And it turns into boxing. It turns into wrestling. It turns into NFL. You see what I'm saying? That's what they do. They saw a cash cow invested. Absolutely. But this has already been an underground gambling culture already. With Django, that scenario where they were betting on the fighters, that is not that didn't come out of their ass. Quentin Tarantino didn't make that up. That used to happen. Where they would put their slaves fighting, just like they do dogs. Just like they do dogs. Yeah, it's trash. That's not why I don't watch sports. Sports are boring to me. I find sports to be quite boring. But I'm biased in that sense. Men just running up and down a rectangle trying to get a ball in the hoop. That's boring. Men running up and down a rectangle with a pig skin trying to get it across this line. That I just that the redundancy of it is quite boring for me. It's like, ugh, shoot me now. uh I understand why men like it. It's not exciting. I need something exciting. Um California Republicans want to elect a black Republican governor, wanting reparations for slave owners. Child, that clown. That's why freedom fighters have to be creative with our abolition and not just settle or getting it in with the white people. Baseball is boring to me. Oh, baseball is boring. Yeah, it's just, oh no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. But yes. I do think I- it is a great documentary. I think that it really pointed out the vulnerability that marginalized people, and when I say marginalized, I'm not just talking about women. Malcolm was marginalized. Ali was marginalized when they were younger. They were marginalized in that situation. Hey, Halo. Um, did I say hey to Lena? Hey, Lena. Um, um, they were marginalized when they were younger, but because they were men, they went up in the stratosphere of power because they were men. But in their younger years, they were vulnerable to um these patriarchs, these older patriarchs, white men who got money, those class systems that can dangle the carrot in your, ooh, nigga, go fight for us and make us money, and ooh, you can be rich with us. I hate that Ali wasn't mature enough to fight for his friendship with Malcolm, but Ali was in his 20s. He was a baby. I have to get. There you go again, Ready Rock sympathy for the man. Uh, he was in his 20s. He was young. Everybody is not making perfect decisions in their 20s. But Elijah Muhammad and fucking Malcolm were older. Malcolm was in his 30s and Elijah Muhammad was old as hell, 50, 60 or whatever. I can't remember exactly. The same age as his father, so he had to be in his 60s. Let me look up their ages. 1 second. Elijah Muhammad was born in 1897, bitch. So he was born in the 1800s, literally 1897. So in the 60s, in 1960, he was already 63. So that wasn't no young whippersnapper. Honey, yeah, I should have known. He was following Garvey. Nigga was 63 in 1960. And then in 1960, whatchamacallit was Malcolm X was 35. In 1960, Ali was 18. So you had a 60-year-old influencing a 35-year-old influencing a 18-year-old. Do you see what I'm saying? So it was a whole connection of fucking bullshit with this. But imagine, that goes back to imagine if if Elijah Muhammad had integrity. If the motherfucker had integrity, how that generation of power, and taught them how to have integrity, taught them how to have that, how that reverberates. But power corrupts, absolutely. Ali's brother almost made me cry at the end. He could tell he really missed his brother. Yeah, I'm sure. But even that situation is, I can tell by my own brother, like my own little brother. There is a certain level of rose-colored glasses that you have when you have a good relationship with your sibling, that you can't always see their faults. Yeah. But yeah, was challenged with a lot, even in his younger age. Absolutely. Particularly in his career. Um I don't know if we can say all men cheat. Definitely think there's a certain type of men cheat. No, I don't believe all men cheat. I don't believe all men cheat. I believe that all men are a part of a culture that says cheating is a norm. So there is nothing to stop them from making the best decision when it comes to temptations. Because cheating is a norm, and almost you get a pat on your back for doing it. It and it's always, oh, men will be men, boys will be boys. When it comes to making the decision, there's nothing to say, maybe I shouldn't do that, unless it comes from internal. If it comes from inside you saying, I don't really want to do that. I don't want to be that trash person to the person that I love. I don't want to be that person. If it doesn't come from there, the world is telling you, go ahead, cheat, boys. Go ahead and cheat. Boys will be boys. Men will be men. This is how men are. The type of men many women are attracted to: bad boy CEO celebrities are equal corruption. I don't agree with that last part. I think what you I think let's break those down. That's a good conversation that we can go into. Um did you have rough patches in fighting your political home, such as groups with no integrity, exploiting you because of your transness? That's a great question. I'll think about that. Self-control is manly, so I don't get the correlation with cheating. Mm, I'll respond to that too. Okay, so let me go back. I think those are good questions. All of those are good commentary to me. So bad boys. So let's talk about bad boys and women being attracted to bad boys. It's not the bad part that's attractive. What's attractive is the excitement. If you are a nerd or a corny ass nigga, corny ass square dude that is boring, you're not gonna be attractive. But if you know how to take your nerdy, corny shit and make it exciting for the motherfucker and be nice, be romantic, and make it fun, you can pull the women you want just like that bad boy. There are corny dudes with great personalities. What the problem that I see with men that when they talk about they like bad boys, they don't like boring ass niggas. It's not that they like bad boys. They don't like boring dudes who don't know how to talk, who don't know how to who don't got no fucking swag. It's not about him being bad. You can be a good boy with swag. You can be a good boy with you look good, you walk with confidence, you feel you you know what I'm saying? You exude an energy of confidence and not necessarily power, but power in yourself. There's tons of nerdy dudes that I was like, God, I like his energy because yeah, he into this sciencey ass shit, but he got a swag about him as opposed to a thug. I remember when I used to live for thugs, but at the same time I was living for thugs, there would be those kind of nerdy dudes who was into something so much, but they had swag about it. I remember this, how I got into anime was this corny ass nerdy dude, but because he was so confident about anime and how he could talk about it, and it was a different swag. I used to try to spend the night over his house and suck that dick. If they have a fetish for danger, that's just them. If they like danger, that and it's in a fetish, that's not all women. That's a fucking fetish. Yeah, some women do like it, but if it's a fetish, honey, that's a fetish. Everybody got fetishes. That's not all women. CEO, celebrities, rank. Let's talk about that. Security. With money and security. And so to get into a survival mode, they look for men with those things because they come with money and security. We already talked about and laid out how there is not infrastructure that puts women in position. Things are changing, but when it comes to financial security, they don't have all the perks that comes with being a man. And so sometimes those perks can come, particularly women who fit a beauty stereotype, particularly European beauty. Um, but since I'm black, let's talk about black. If you look like Drea Michelle, you can you that social capital that you get from your beauty can snag you that kind of security. Instead of you being us being lazy, you could be lazy and not want to go to school or whatever, or can't afford to go to school and you don't want to be a stripper. Why not try to get me a Kanye West? Why not try to get me a baller, a shot caller? Why I don't want to do that? That's how society is set up pushes them in that direction. It's a choice, so there's an accountability that women have to make, but there's accountability as well on the culture that pushes them to make that an easy choice. It's like me, I didn't want to be an escort when I came into my womanhood, but because of how the world was set up to where I was getting fired for being trans and couldn't get jobs and da 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 da, I had to get it where I fit in because I still had to pay my bills. I still had to have a roof over my head and my brother's head. Um, all right, so let's see. And the way women are conditioned, hold on, conditioned to fight for relationships after he cheats, absolutely trash, at least in my experience, facts. Um, did you have some rough patches with finding your political home, such as groups with no integrity exploiting you because of your transits? No, I did not have any issues finding my political home because of my transness being something that really isolated me from most of groups, from cisgender women, from gay men, from cis men and straight people and religious people. I have always been a loner and able to come up with my own political what I think is right and agree wherever I wanted to agree, wherever I wanted to fall, wherever I wanted, whatever felt logical to me, which is black feminism. That's the ideology that I follow. Um, Feminism, you know, I didn't have anything or religious. She was just kind of navigating the world. Self control is manly, so I don't get the correlation between cheating. So self control, a part of self control is the freedom to do whatever you want instead of going by the rules of marriage, going by the rules of what society thinks I should do, or the rules of what my wife want me to do. I have self control to be able to here and fuck all the bitch I want because I'm a man. That's what men do. That is a part of self control. So that illusion of self control, while for some, yes, that is manly. That is absolutely manly. But expressing that self-control can lead to harm. It can lead to cheating. It can lead to doing things wrong and doing things not with integrity because you don't want to follow rules, and breaking the rules is a part of the self-control. Does that make sense? Where they can think, where they can still feel manly and be in control. Yeah, society perpetuates that. I hate when I hear women say, "If you won't do it for him, another woman will." Absolutely, that's true. I hate when they say it, but that's true because it's always a bitch that's trying to come up because the world have got us in a situation where, honey, if a Donald Trump come through with a coin, even though I don't like the shit that he doing, honey, I can be his little sugar baby. Get me into America. Yeah, I raise good boys with swag. I can't stand thugs. Some women do like danger. I love anime. Hey Diamond, hey L. Um, and some nice boys tend to be shy. I find it sexy when men have the social skills to pursue and be persistent. Unfortunately, that tends to be bad boys. Yes, absolutely. It's nothing like a shy guy that you can tell is shy, but he just break through because he likes you so much that he breaks through that shyness and comes and shoots his shot. That's sexy as hell to me. Um, my first love, not Eric, but Jonathan. I talked about the video that's called "Came on the Bus and Left on the Bus" or something like that. I can't remember. In that video, I described how he was so nervous sitting next to me, and that was so sexy to me. Like, I make you nervous? What? Like, no, don't be nervous. You is a cutie. I wanted to console him. I wanted to, um, it made me want to be into him, even though he wasn't as attractive as the boy that was sitting before him, that was sitting next to him, next to me before him. But he was the one that I wanted to console because in my mind, and maybe subconsciously, he was the one. If I'm this confident dude who was sitting next to me, if you feel what I'm saying, this confident dude, he's just confident. So he's into himself. He ain't gonna be into me. I'm just trying to conquer him. If I think about it, but then that has the nervousness that I intimidate him, that I am so beautiful or whatever, that he's cautious about not ruining the moment. That's the motherfucker I want to be invested in. And that's the one I ended up with for 3 years. 3 or 4. Excuse me. Yeah, it's just, man, I don't know. I just, I think we gotta take responsibility for the parts that we play. And while women in sometimes the scenario that they choose doesn't mean that, oh, if Diamond Styles, for whatever reason, I never would do this. But I would have did it in my 20s. But as a 40-year-old, no, I would never do this. But say that I meet a Republican, a rich Donald Trump motherfucker. There could be a situation in my 20s where I was like, this would change my life. This access to this type of money and this type of lifestyle, I could flip this nigga money into something else. I could stipend and do whatever I need to do to get my own shit together. When you come in this situation, you gotta do anybody who's coming, if you coming into the situation with the CEO, the celebrity, the da da da, it's certain things that come with that territory. If you want to stay in the situation, right? You know that they might be whores, they might be cheating, they might be da 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 da. You might have to be on their time. You need to be here when I want you to be here. You got to do the sexual stuff that they want to do. You might have to do some threesomes. You might have you're going to have to conform to live this lifestyle. You are going to have to conform to what these niggas want you to do, or they're going to replace you. And so, don't act like when the shit don't work out in your favor, and I'm talking to the women here, Ready Rock, we sympathy for the men trying to you might have to comb the toupees at night. Yes. Don't act like when it doesn't work out, don't act like you didn't know the scenario that you was signing up for when you wanted this type of money, when you wanted this type of opportunity. Now when we get to the extreme, now you can't be raping and doing shit like that. But you know what comes along with when we're talking about how you gotta succumb to, they might cheat, they might not be there all the time because they gotta work and do their business shit. You might just be a kept woman. You gotta be home doing, you got to get your implants. You got to make sure you stay skinny. You can't gain weight and think that he gonna be like, oh, I gotta deal with this when I can be with the next bitch that's chasing me with the body. Yeah, you got to understand that this comes along with the territory when you make those decisions. But when I married a regular nigga, regular degler dude, sweetie, mm-mm. I'm not expecting your ass to run around slanging dick everywhere. When you pay the cost to be the boss, you pay the cost to be the boss. And whoever signed up for it, imagine being in a relationship with like Diddy, like Cassie was. I can imagine how the box how horrible of a box that was. And then it didn't even work out for you. She had to go marry somebody else and get pregnant by somebody else. I pray it was a great journey for both of you. It was a learning journey. I don't know about great. Diamond, have you looked up the definition of feminist and Mals? What I never heard of Muslim. Are you talking about Muslim? But I never heard of Muslim. I know the definition of feminist. Cassie went and married a complete opposite. She put him through it. Cassie got pregnant 3 seconds after she left. Her husband was the personal trainer. Work. Ooh. But yeah, so what else are we gonna talk about? This is the last 25 minutes. So Kelly Price, strange as hell. How you just pop up and you can't be found. I met Kelly Price this summer at the end of June at this House of Tulip had thrown this concert, and it was so fun. She was the headliner of the concert, and I met her there, and she was so nice. She was good. Sung her ass off, of course. That's what she does. But it was a fun experience. Feminism and Maoism. Like, I've never heard of Maoism. I've heard of feminism. I hope she's okay. I hope she's okay too. Kelly Price on R&B Divas was not a good look. It was not. I did not like Kelly Price on R&B Divas. I don't know what was going on with her. I did not like her. I didn't know Shantae Moore, but I really started liking Shantae Moore after the show and didn't. And Kelly, her attitude, oh no. I loved Little Mo. I loved Kelly, not Kelly, Shantae Moore. Who else? Oh, I fell in love with Michelle A. I like Dawn. She got annoying sometimes, but do you think her boyfriend might be a suspect? Well, apparently he's not participating and being cooperative with the investigation. So anytime that shit is happening, I think the dude, just like that white woman, which is crazy. That the one with the white one, but we ain't talking about her here because, honey, I don't want to talk about that white woman. But yeah, I brought her up. But yeah, just when the dude is not fucking participating, cooperating, suspect number one. It is too many intimate partner homicides happening in the world, and we know the statistics. Mm. I hope no one is a suspect. They need to find her. It's just I don't know. How do you just disappear? You got shows, you got kids, you got you got a husband, you got like you don't just disappear. That doesn't make sense. Something has gone wrong. Especially a celebrity who has assistants, who has makeup artists, you have shows. People know where the fuck you are. You don't just disappear. Breaking news, her attorney says she has been located and is still recovering from COVID-19. Oh, that's good news. So she just wasn't talking to nobody. Maleism. Feminism is the advocacy of women's rights on the basis of the equality of the sexes, while maleism is the doctrine the world while maleism is the doctrine the world is evil. Hmm. Yeah, I never heard of that. There are too many cameras on the streets spying on us regular folks. I need answers. Thanks. Fans don't believe it though. They want her to post a video so they know it's real. Yeah. Yeah, you got if you know TMZ got stories out about you, honey, get on your social media. Have your people record it to let you know you are good. 'Cause 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 let you know you My St. Louis homegirl, Brianna, just passed away from COVID. She was a Continental Plus. She was one of the Continental Pluses. I can't remember what state she won. Mm. Right. The video I saw of her speaking about recovering from COVID-19 didn't look real. Mm. Wow, why wouldn't the boyfriend know where she was? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, that's so weird. Yeah, I don't know, but we'll find out. I don't know if you spoke on the case concerning Nicki Minaj and the woman claiming to be harassed. Sorry for your loss. We weren't really, really close. We just kind of knew each other. Um, Nicki Minaj and the lady. Um, as smart as sometimes Nicki portrays to be, sometimes she be doing dumb ass shit. Sometimes she does the most stupidest shit that don't make fucking sense. It doesn't make sense. If you decide to be with a dude and he got rape charges, all this shit that's going on in his background, and you still decide to stay with him and be with him, for me, I wouldn't be talking to none of no victims. I wouldn't be talking to nobody about that shit. That shit ain't got nothing to do with me. That's on him to take care of. Especially after I already got some fucking rapey, molesty bullshit in my past with my fucking brother and me putting money to help his attorney to get him off. I'm not about to be with my man's bullshit and get involved in that. It just feels like, especially after he's convicted, it's different if a motherfucker is you going through the case. Not even then, I wouldn't even be fucking with it then. But he already convicted, bitch. Go sit down. Like, I wouldn't even be bothering none of them motherfuckers. I wouldn't even be talking to them. You fucking offering money and fucking calling them and making threats. All that shit is whack, man. That shit is stupid. Stupid. It's the dumbest shit to me. It just seems like dumb. Like, who the fuck does that? That's weird. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. But yeah, I don't. She just. Do y'all think it's petty for the real to have talked about it? Like to even interview that girl? I don't think. I just think that's them doing their job. They got the exclusive interview. So, but some people say real shouldn't have interviewed her. I feel so bad for her. She worked so hard, and this is how she will be remembered. If what the victim says is true, she needs to be held accountable. She's so stupid. She's fucking stupid. I just think she's stupid. It's so dumb. But power corrupts absolutely. Absolute power corrupts and power corrupts. Absolutely. But yeah, when you got money and think that you can buy your way out of shit and pay for this, pay for that, and all that, motherfuckers ain't playing with you. Not now. Sometimes it don't work, particularly about motherfuckers getting raped, child. When they was fucking young. They grown now. She was telling a story from young. They were fucking teenagers. So weird. Was he a teenager? Was he a teenager? I don't know. I can't remember. Because I couldn't watch the whole video. I was like, oh, this too triggering. Make sure y'all thumbs up. Man, that's wild. I agree. I remember the night Whitney H passed. It was Grammy Awards. Everyone adjusted their music in response, except Nicki, who came out with all red, devil-inspired music dance. just, just don't understand the assignment. They were both teenagers, so when people put out the pedo narrative, it is misleading, not excusing their allegations, though. Yeah, I didn't know the details, so I don't know. Yeah, I always got the rape. It was rape. I didn't get the pedo narrative. But I'm sure that's around since it happened when they were minors. They That's so weird. Not knowing how to keep your pants and penis to yourself, darling. This is so random, but I've been recently teasing my trade about how thick he's getting in the cake department, and he always gets so self conscious. Now I'm wondering, is that a form of dysphoria? Dysphoria? I don't think so. Mm. I think men with big booties get self conscious about it. It's like women with big breasts. You can be self conscious of it. I would be too worried about clearing someone's name when we're talking about pedo versus rape. A demon, nonetheless. Either one. Yeah. That's real too. I don't know. Anything that makes you stand out, like physically, can be something that you can be self conscious of. I remember when I was little because my mom made fun of this dip in my lip. This She used to call my lips Eminem lips because it made an M right there. I used to be self conscious of my mouth, but now I like it. Anything that makes that somebody calls out or makes fun of, or um, it can make people self conscious about it. What you doing, Raven? Raven. Hey. I don't know. It's oh man. But yes, definitely look into it, into the documentary. Make sure y'all, we got 10 more minutes. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram. Make sure y'all follow me on TikTok. I'm gonna start doing like fashion stuff on TikTok. Um Diamond Stylz, Diamond. Um what else? What else do I got going on? I am a month out of starting to record my production that I can't wait for y'all to see. Um, I'm just look at my calendar and see what's going on. I'm not 100% for sure, but I think I will be in Orlando, Florida on the 8th. Yeah, I think I will be in Orlando, Florida on the 8th. Um, hey Gigi, just go back and listen. It'll be up. Um, yeah, I think I'll be in Orlando, Florida for the Trans March. There is the Trans March that they're having in Orlando, Florida. There's some type of award that they got for me. So I think I'll be there. And so they said I can accept it virtually, but it's Florida. I might want to go to Florida. So I might be there. And I've never been to Orlando for like fun, like for not fun, but for where I'm just going to enjoy the damn city. So I'm kind of excited about that. And so yeah. So I'm gonna be there. Oh. But yes. All right, we in our last 8 minutes. Anything else y'all want to talk about real quick? um, what else? Let me think. Make sure you got thumbs up. What do we got going on? Oh, I got a couple of interviews that I got. I don't know if y'all know Laid Back from YouTube, trans man, Xavier. It's LAIDBAQQ. Laid Back. He's been on YouTube for a minute. I'm interviewing him. We have a great conversation. What did y'all think about the Felicity's Felicity's interview? That the trick of the trade is coming. It's done editing. Um, it should be coming Sunday. What is Sunday? I should be posting it on. Was it? Yes, Sunday on the 26th. Yes, Lena, it will be on the 26th. Um, your voice is so good. Have you recorded anything? All my music. I'm about to. So on the 26th, I'm also releasing a song called Black Eyes. I don't know if y'all heard of it, but it'll be a cover. It is from A Star Is Born. And it's called Black Eyes, but it'll be my version. And I'll be putting it on SoundCloud. Yes, it will be on there. Um, But yes, all that is all coming on Sunday, the 26th. Excuse me. Yes, thank you, Brandon. What else? 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 I don't know. Yeah, that's it. Mm-mm-mm. Who I interviewed somebody else too. Oh, Vernus, the executive director of the Mahogany Project. We talk about food, we talk about activism, we talk about relationships, we talk about so much stuff. Vernus is coming. So Vernus, Xavier, and who else? Can't think of who else I got coming. I don't know. Those two definitely. They're in the bag. They're just I just need to edit them and they'll be out. Um but yes, that is what I got going on. Have y'all thought about who else y'all want me to get on that's accessible? Sometimes the people that y'all ask me to get, I slide in their DMs and they don't respond. So either y'all gotta tell them to come through, or honey, I can't force them to come. So who else that's accessible that y'all want to hear from? Um, Anybody y'all interested in, and it don't just have to be trans women. It could be um anybody. Tell Mia we wish her a successful recovery. Mia's name, I will tell her, but you can also tell us yourself. That'll feel good. If you are on Instagram, Mia's name is the Mia Michelle. You can go to her page, let her know that she is that she is missed. And yeah. But I will definitely let her know. What else? I think that's our it's the Mia Michelle. All spelled the regular way. Um, yes. But everything is going good for her. Like as far as like the surgery went well. She's just healing. She's laid up in the bed being taken care of by her mean. She enjoys how it looks. It looks good. She love it. She's just recovering. So I'm sure when she's done, honey, y'all ain't gonna y'all ain't gonna stop seeing her motherfucking body, baby. She's gonna be showing it. Let me think. Um, but yes, that's all. That's all I have as far as the updates. I don't know how y'all would do it, but I need a part two with Mia's dad. Yeah, he doesn't live here. If he comes back, I don't mind him coming on. Um, I will be back on Friday and back on Thursday with some type of show for Marsha's Plate. And I will see y'all. Make sure y'all thumbs up. Make sure y'all follow me on TikTok, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter. I be talking the most shit on Twitter. That's where I've been posting some of my online dating conversations with these fuck boys, and people have been really enjoying them. So make sure y'all follow me on Twitter for that. Um, you know, reading the trade. Um, what else? Yeah, that's it. So I will see y'all next week. I hope y'all have a wonderful night. I'm about to go get me something to eat and watch some type of movie. So be blessed. All right, y'all.